The sound wasn't loud, just a soft rip, fabric tearing. When I walked in, my daughter was frozen in the middle of the living room. Her little hands clutched at the remains of a stuffed rabbit, her mother's last gift before the cancer took her. My wife stood over her, breathing hard, the toy's limp arm dangling from her fist. "Enough with this junk," she said. Her tone was light, almost bored. "Your mom's dead. Time to get over it." My mother-in-law sipped her coffee and nodded. She needs to grow up. I didn't speak, didn't move, just watched my daughter's eyes, wide, wet, silent. She didn't cry, she looked at me instead, as if waiting for me to fix it. But I didn't, not yet. That night, my wife laughed in bed, told a story about work, about someone's mistake. Her phone buzzed. She silenced it too quickly. Her smile was bright, too bright. She touched my arm, casual, careless. "You're quiet tonight." "I'm tired," I said. She rolled over. I watched the rise and fall of her back in the dark. My mind drifted to the rabbit, its head torn halfway off, to my daughter, sitting in silence beside the trash can where her stepmother had thrown it. And I wondered, when did cruelty become casual? When did love start to look like contempt? The phone buzzed again. A man's name lit the screen, not one I recognized. She didn't notice me watching. That was when I understood. The toy wasn't what she wanted to destroy. It was the memory, the last piece of a woman she could never compete with. And maybe she had already found someone who didn't remind her of me. The next morning, I packed lunches, kissed my daughter's forehead, and drove her to school. Then I drove to the office, but I didn't go in. I parked 2 blocks away and opened her phone bill. Every night, after midnight, one number, frequent, repetitive. I wrote it down. Then I called a friend, a man who owed me a favor. "Can you run a trace?" I asked. He didn't ask why. 3 hours later he called back. "Belongs to a coworker. Same department." He paused. "She's been at his apartment a lot lately. Security cams don't lie." I thanked him quietly, hung up. That night I made dinner. She smiled again, told me about late meetings. I nodded, asked questions, played the fool. Inside, something was rearranging itself, slowly, deliberately, like furniture being moved in the dark. Not rage, not even jealousy, just clarity, the kind that cuts deeper than anger ever could. The photographs arrived the next day, a small brown envelope left at my office desk. Her car, his apartment, 2 silhouettes behind a curtain. I flipped through them one by one, each image quieter than the last. Not passion, just convenience. That evening I didn't speak during dinner. My daughter talked about a school project. My wife smiled at her, pretending warmth, pretending family. When the dishes were done, I walked to the living room, placed the envelope on the coffee table, and sat across from her. She frowned. "What's that?" "Something I found," I said. She opened it. One photo slid into her lap. Another, then another. Her hands began to tremble. "I can explain," she whispered. "I know," I said. "You always can." My voice was calm, even gentle. That's what made it worse. I didn't shout, didn't accuse. I just stood and walked to my daughter's room. The torn rabbit sat on the shelf, its head now sewn carefully back on. My stitches, clumsy but strong. I handed it to my daughter. "Keep this," I told her. Then I returned to the living room. She was crying now, ugly, desperate sobs. "Please don't do this. We can fix it." I looked at her, then at her mother, silent in the corner, eyes downcast. "I already did," I said. "I fixed what mattered." She blinked, confused. "What do you mean?" I gestured toward the door. "You and your mother will be out by morning. I've already called my attorney. Everything's arranged. You'll get what you deserve." Her lips parted. "I can," I said, "and I will." She reached for me. Her touch no longer meant anything. That night, I stood in my daughter's doorway and watched her sleep. The rabbit lay beside her, whole again. The house was silent. Down the hall, I could hear faint crying, boxes being packed, doors opening and closing. I felt nothing. Not triumph, not grief. Just the clean quiet of a wound finally cauterized. People think revenge is about payback. It's not. It's about ending the noise. When the front door finally shut, I turned off the lights and whispered to the dark, she was wrong. Some things aren't meant to be gotten over. And the silence agreed.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.